Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, today in the Daily Express, this is Monday, December the 2nd, they have an article by a British cook, and she's telling us how to make the most of Christmas with regard to food. Now, just to warn you, you probably know or remember that British people, well, we don't really care much for food. So some of these ideas which are being put forward seriously may not align with your ideas. So we're going to read through what she's telling us, and you can decide for yourself then what you think of British people cooking at Christmas. It says here, take the fear out of your festive Christmas with veteran cook Jane Lovett. She says, and I'm just going to begin. It says, for the pressure of getting a turkey, gravy, roast potatoes, and all the other bits on the table at Christmas, it is very stressful, she says. And she says it's important to try to make Christmas easy. She says, here are a few shortcuts. Well, first of all, she begins with the potatoes because, we love to eat those at Christmas. We love to eat turkey with potatoes. So she tells us the brilliant thing about roast potatoes is you can cook them from frozen. And if they're cooked that way, they take less time and they'll come out crispier. That just means with a nicer kind of edge to them. And then she talks about how you should buy them now, freeze them, on Christmas Day remove them from the freezer, cook them in oil for 45 minutes, and then they go a little grey, but when that disappears, it's fine. Now she's suggesting here that you partially cook them before you freeze them. I've never heard of that before. I know some people do freeze potatoes, but I didn't know. She says parboil them, which I think I've never heard of the word parboil. I think she's basically saying that you slightly cook them. And then you drain them, you fluff them up, you put them onto a tray, and then you freeze them. That's very British, isn't it? And then next, she tells us about the parsnips. That's those, they look like carrots, but they're yellow with a green bit on the top. She says, you can cook parsnips from frozen as well. Yeah, but the question is, if you buy fresh vegetables, why would you want to freeze them? It doesn't seem very, very nice. And then, if you buy a bird, like a chicken or turkey, everyone buys turkey here, except me. I don't like turkey. It's very hard meat. But we also have a stuffing for it. And that's when you make up this special kind of stuff and you put it inside the turkey. And when the turkey is cooking, it absorbs the stuffing. And she says here, make your stuffing now and freeze it. Yeah, she's not really into cooking fresh food, is she? And of course, she's a professional cook. And again, next thing, sausages and bacon rolls. She says, cook them now and then put them in the freezer. And you can simply reheat them. Bread sauce, you can freeze it, she's telling us here. Red cabbage, great if you freeze it. She says, prepare it now, then put it in a freezer bag and put it in your freezer. She's assuming we all have very big freezers, isn't she? Cranberry sauce, Put the cranberries in a pan with some sugar and flavouring. She says a bit of orange juice and some spices. They take 5 minutes, and that's it. Carrots, these vegetables freeze very well, she's saying here. Prepare them 4 days in advance, cut them into shape, and leave them in water. And of course, turkeys are usually frozen when we buy them anyway. So she says here, you can't do the turkey in advance, but you can finish roasting it 2 hours before you serve it. Please note, all meat needs to rest, or it will turn grey and tough, she says here. What she's saying, she says here, when you take the turkey out of the oven, put it on the plate you'll serve it on, and cover it in tin foil and bath towels. Ew, that just doesn't sound right, does it? She could just have said towels, or maybe she could have said clean towels from the towel cupboard. You see, we really don't do food well. Even I have problems with this. It says here, bath towels will help it to stay warm for 4 hours. And then she goes on to talk about the importance of Brussels sprouts. That's those green balls. So it looks like she's freezing everything. Oh dear. Well, that's certainly not good. And then she tries to sell us her book at £28. I don't think I'll be rushing away to buy that. I haven't really thought too much about Christmas yet, although I do need to get my Christmas cards posted by the end of the week to ensure, of course, that they reach their destinations on time, since many of them are going abroad. Usually Christmas causes me a great deal of anxiety and stress, although in recent years I've come to a point where I'm learning to live with it. I think the reason why it causes me stress is simply because there aren't the people around that used to be there. And I find myself preparing for something that isn't really any different from any other time of the year. And it's almost like a very big preparation for something which is usually the same as any other day of the year. So it's a bit of a letdown, I think. But as we all know, Christmas is what you make it. So this year, what's really helped me a lot is realizing that now, here in the UK, Christmas is actually only one day. Christmas Day, which is the day when we open our gifts and we have a lovely dinner, that is Christmas. On the 26th of December, our shops again are open. And last year, as I mentioned to you, I went out, found all the coffee shops open, and all these men were just sitting there looking completely depressed and miserable. And of course, the gym is open 365 days a year as well. So it's not just me. I think many of us now are realizing that Christmas, it used to be a week, then slowly it became 2 days, and now it's just one day. There isn't actually a lot of preparation to be made unless you have a large family. Of course, there'll be the Christmas movies, which are always nice, and I like to watch different Christmas services from around the world. I've been talking to some Christian Arab friends about how they celebrate Christmas, and there's even Christians in Iran who've been telling me what they'll be doing for the Christmas season. So it's lovely to catch up with these people, and that's what makes Christmas special for me. Talking to people about what they'll be doing for Christmas, and the preparation of food makes it very special. But aside from that, there isn't really much else I can say makes it special. So we have to go out and really try and make it something special ourselves. When you're older, I think it is a little bit harder to do that. So one thing I did this weekend is I started to put up some more of the Christmas decorations. I've still to put up my tree, and I've bought some special ribbon to do that with. So that's always nice, even if I'm not doing it for anybody else, just doing it for the house, for the family, and for the cats. They'll appreciate it once they see it. I'm not a very religious person, although I do like to maybe pop into the church on the way past to see what they've done with the candles, because they always have a nice wreath, don't they? Buying fresh flowers is something else that can be done. But thinking back again to food, yeah, as you know, British people, we really aren't kind of orientated towards food. So for many people, making the food will be quite stressful. But like I say, it is only a day, and it's not really a day that's any different from any other, except I won't be working, and I'll be preparing some special food. We haven't sat down to discuss the menu, exactly what I'll be making yet, but one thing is for sure, there's going to be some delicious food on the table, but only if we make it that way. So regardless of how Christmas looks or what we think about it, we can always make it special, even just by putting on some unusual movies in the background. As we get older, though, it's always a little bit depressing. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. So there we are. That was today with a cook in the Daily Express trying to sell us her new cookbook where she says, freeze everything. Well, that's not going to happen, is it? Although last year I went out to buy my chicken for Christmas Day and I couldn't find any. I think it was the 22nd, as you may remember from my podcasts last year, and I couldn't find any chicken at all. So maybe I'll need to buy a chicken early and freeze it. It's not because there was a problem with chicken. It's simply because of Brexit. That means that the logistics of food moving around the country are now very different, and a lot of stores just don't have what I want. Don't worry though, I'm not going to starve, as you can imagine, and I'm looking forward to making some nice, delicious, and different recipes this year. Well, I know you'll all be with me this Christmas, and that'll be very nice. Together, we'll go through some recipes. We'll go walking on the streets to talk about the Christmas celebrations as well. So we've a lot to do over the coming days. About my weekly lesson, well, probably will take a break from those for 2, maybe 3 weeks around the Christmas and New Year period, and we'll be focusing in on some podcasts. There we are. That's it from me. Have a wonderful day. Bye.